Here we are on Monday morning, and we're at the bus stop. We're going to go to Kyoto Station and then take the subway to the Imperial Palace to make an appointment to go inside the Imperial Garden. So this will be our first bus ride on the public system in Kyoto. So we're on the subway train here, and the subways go very fast. This is the outer gate at the Imperial Palace in Kyoto, and we walk through the inner gardens to go to the inner palace grounds, which are surrounded by huge gates. Presidents and the Queen and King of England have been there to visit. This is one of the trees. The trees are very beautiful. This is the gate to the inner palace grounds, another beautiful tree. This is the gate through which dignitaries enter, the King and Queen of England, our presidents. This is looking up into the roof structure and looking through the outer guard gate. Very narrow moat, you can see here. This is actually one of the old buildings, but it's a ticketing office. Excuse the background noise. Stan's pulling the shades up. This is a room where visiting dignitaries were received by the emperor and the shoguns. And there was 3 rooms, different rooms for different levels of importance in the leadership of the country. Beautiful silkscreen paintings. This is a gate. This structure was built in the early 1900s as a carriage entrance to the home inside. And it was a 15-room home where the emperor lived. The empress and the princesses and princes lived in different structures on the property, and the reason for that was fire. If a fire burned in one of the houses, there was prevention that the rest of the imperial family would not perish. All of the buildings were connected by corridors. And there's wide spaces between buildings, as there were more buildings in past history, but it's also believed that part of the wide spaces was so that fire could not leap so easily from one building to another. This tour was really, if you come to this area, you should go here. Stan and I felt this is really a very important part of history, and it's so beautiful. It's even more spectacular when you're standing there in person, and the magnificence of the architecture is just astounding. This is where the emperor received people. This is our tour guide. She was great. the doors and the gateways on the steps are just so beautiful, all the hardware and the trees. It's very warm and humid here, and so everything is so green. This is part of the gardens where the emperor would sit and have his tea. There's actually a succession of 7 gardens. There's a koi in the pond. The hardware on all the railings is just spectacular. Shoji doors. Now, looking into some of these pockets, you see, of course, we couldn't go into some of the buildings because they just can't have people trampling all over the tatami mats. But this is looking into some of the buildings and the artwork on the doors that go in between the rooms. These are joiners in the railings. These are all painting on silk. As you can see by the overcast skies, we were on the very edge of the typhoon.
Entering the front gate at Nijo Castle. See, they have the big moat, like at the Imperial Palace in Tokyo. Here we go.
This is Nijo Castle, and this castle we got to go inside of. Here's where we took off our shoes and stored them on the shelves. And then we went inside the buildings. We were not able to take pictures inside the castle. The artwork was spectacular. But this is the gardens and the pools as we were outside the castle. Very beautiful, nicely maintained. This is a very ancient castle also, and it's just on the perimeter of the Imperial Palace. And the garden. This is the map of the layouts. As you can see, it's quite ornate with many different pathways. And this is the gate going across the moat. The moat is very similar to the Imperial Palace in Tokyo. See, that's a man door in the big gate. Those gates are probably 10 to 12 feet tall. Bring lots of mosquito repellent. There's lots of those little buggers in Japan. This is big tall steps, and yes, I went up them. Stanley always helps me. This is at the top of the steps looking out over the rooftops of the palace grounds. Too modern, Kyoto. Cameras everywhere you go, of course. Looking out over part of the moat. Again, a rooftop view. And Nijo Castle is a National Heritage building. This is a rest stop, a modern structure, near where the bathrooms are. And look at this bathroom building in the next frame. Pretty building. Yes, and they have Western style and Japanese. That's a well.
We're walking down a street in downtown Kyoto, and we're heading from Nijo Castle to the shopping district. So as you can see, there are many high-rise buildings, and again, in a very clean city, but the high-rises are not nearly as gigantic as in Tokyo. So we're on the very edge of the typhoon. It's still very overcast, and we feel little spritzels of wet here and there, but not enough to need an umbrella or a jacket. We're in our shirt sleeves, and we're really enjoying the day. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon, and we are going shopping. We are in the shopping district of Kyoto, and we are going to the Nishiki Food Market. It is a huge mall. The concierge at the hotel told us about this, and it's just a huge mall of food vendors. So here we go. nighttime in downtown Kyoto in the shopping district. It's 6:30. We're still out. We're having a great time. We just, after going through the food market, we ended up in this great mall where we found really neat shops to go into with reasonably priced gifts, trinkets, and souvenirs. So now Stan is getting his bearings, looking at the map so that we know where we are in the world. And we are at Sanjo Dori, and Dori means street, and Kawara Machidori. So it's nighttime and the city is still busy. We're in the shopping district, so it's happy people out on the street. We are back at Kyoto Station. It is just a couple of minutes before 8 o'clock. We got sushi to go, and we got pastries for the morning so we can just hide out in the hotel room. We bought some Starbucks coffee, and we are gonna spend an evening in, watch TV, and spend the morning relaxing and eating in our room. And tomorrow, perhaps, Ashiwahara. Bye-bye. Yay, we're back. Those lit up trees there is the hotel. We made it home. We found our way. Oh, there's a full moon up there. I hope it comes out. It's so pretty. It's a harvest moon too. So anyway, here we are. We're back at the hotel. Now we get to put on our yukatas, have a cold beer, eat our sushi in the room, and watch TV. We have had a wonderful day.